Okay, so here's a first of its kind here. This one is a curly walnut carved eagle flute. So as you can possibly see here, this is a piece of wood, and this piece of wood I've had in my possession for over 10 years, maybe 12 now, can't say. So there's this place where we've had many ceremonies. Still today, our spiritual group is still on Fridays going to this place in Malino, Oregon, on Doug and Carol Haynes' property. And Carol has now passed away, but she and Doug have opened their home for 30 years now, I think, to allow different groups to have different indigenous ceremonies on their property. There's two sweat lodges, one facing east, one facing west, facing each other, fire in the center, and people can come and use that space. Anyhow, they also boarded horses and things, and they had this walnut tree that they needed to take down, and they offered me the whole tree, basically. So I, of course, said yes, and at the time I had the capabilities of, had a big truck at the time, and I had a big old place to store the wood, and we ended up needing a mill to come and pick it up, because they had to pick it up basically with a crane and get it on the back of the truck and take it to this mill. And I had no idea what we were going to get into. I love walnut, and man, we went in there and the whole thing essentially was figured, and it was beautiful, and just, I can't tell you how many hundreds and hundreds of flutes that we got out of it. So pretty cool. And this is absolutely the last one. I've had this glued together to make a flute for a long time. Look at the curl in that. And so what this is it's a little bit lighter than most of the walnut. As you can see here on this side, it gets a little bit darker, that gray like you'd see in English walnut. You see that? But what that is that this is getting close to the sapwood. And an interesting thing about wood is that the heartwood, the center of the tree, will usually have the least amount of figure. And the most curl and figure that you'll find in a wood is usually towards the outer part of the tree. And so this one is an example of that. Even though it's a little bit lighter in color, and like I said, it's got color variation, as you can see right there. It's starting to get darker and darker, and then lighter over on this side. But this lighter part has so much figure. And this, to get this color on this eagle head, I torch it, and you can see even through the torched area that curl that goes through there. Really cool. So then we also have zircote mouthpiece in this zircote eagle sound block. What makes this the first of its kind is that this is in the North American Indigenous Scale, the scale that I've been talking so much about. And I don't need to get into the story now, but just look up Singing Trees North American Indigenous and you'll find a bunch of flutes, but you should find some history in there too about what that means and where it came from. And it is a North American, let's call it Plains native scale that I was asked to basically help keep alive with from my Lakota elder, my uncle Kevin Locke. Anyway, it's a sweet scale. It's more of a major feel to it, but you can play it in a minor. I need to do a more detailed, as I'm discovering on my own, I'm realizing how diverse this actually is. But it can play in both minor and both more of a major feel. I usually play the major feel that also plays Amazing Grace. This is the first of its kind with a carved eagle head at the bottom. Really, really sweet. Most of the ones I've been making have just been our basic cedar ones. Really gorgeous flute here. It's gonna come with a display stand, and it's in G sharp. Quick with the minor feel to it. That's by holding the bottom finger down. Hope you like it. I love it.